primarily about delivering information to sellers inside of the commercial process. But of course, there's some behind the scenes work associated with the development of these delivered recommendations. But at the end of the day, what do we expect to do? We expect to provide inside of a selling business process a very specific product sale recommendation and associated information that gives sellers confidence around the value and quality of that recommendation. And we also expect to collect feedback from sellers as part of that. And I'll illustrate exactly what this looks like in a moment. So how does this work at a high level? Well, it's really about, firstly, using your own sales history and transaction data, along with customer and product information, for your business. Processing this information using advanced techniques, using AI to develop an opinion of what customers look similar, and really evaluating the purchases for those similar groups of customers, and then ultimately delivering these recommendations into the commercial process. And that might be a CPQ solution like Vendavo CPQ. It might be a CRM system like Salesforce CRM. We'll show exactly what this looks like. But again, I think there are, firstly, questions around what exactly are we doing to develop these groups of customers and these specific recommendations. It's all about, firstly, understanding within the set of customers that you're transacting and those customers that you're meeting in the market, which of those customers look similar, then evaluating the purchases that those customers make, so that whenever you are in negotiations with a particular customer, you have a very clear picture of those customers and purchases outside of this customer you're talking to that would provide some indication around the products that this customer is likely to be interested in. And frankly, if I kind of step back and look at my own personal experience, I've seen these types of efforts supported historically, typically within sales operations teams. These are historically very high effort projects for a group of folks inside of a business to firstly analyze all of the customers in your portfolio and all the purchases that they make, group those customers into particular segments, and then develop these recommendations for sellers for subsequent negotiations. This is a lot of work and a lot of effort if you don't have a technology like this. So at the end of the day, as I said, what do these recommendations look like for sellers? They really end up as a specific list of suggested products that would be communicated to sellers as part of the commercial process. I'll show this in greater detail in a moment in more of a live product demonstration. But this is really what that would look like within a CPQ platform. So as you are preparing that list of products that you'd like to propose and negotiate with customers, you're receiving a very specific list of products that you could choose to add or not add to that customer negotiation. If you're not using a CPQ solution, we've also delivered these recommendations into the Salesforce CRM environment. So where you have opportunities that sales teams are working within that business process, we deliver these recommendations right into that process so sellers can evaluate these suggestions and add them to their selling plan for customers. So what I'm going to do at this point is really step outside of the world of slides and really walk through a kind of live demonstration of the two sides of this solution. Firstly, I'll illustrate what this looks like in the context of the commercial process. So give you a snapshot of really what these recommendations look like for a sales audience. And then we'll change gears and spend a little bit of time inside of the direct sales optimizer solution itself to give you a better sense for what this information looks like from a pricing team perspective, and what the development process looks like around the evaluation and construction of these customer groups and product recommendations that are a product of the solution itself. So with that, I'm going to jump out to firstly this illustration of kind of the net result in a CPQ system. So for those of you who are Vendavo CPQ customers, you'll recognize this view, but essentially we are inside of a deal. We have a deal level summary of products that are being evaluated, and you have a list of products that are currently being proposed to customers. What you see here is a tab called Sales Recommender in this case, but this is really where we would deliver and communicate these specific product opportunities as part of this solution. So here, as a seller, I'd evaluate these suggestions that would be coming out of the Sales Optimizer process. I'd be able to select individual products and add those products to the deal. So where I had an initial list of 4 products, I now have 2 additional products that have been suggested through this system on the basis of comparing this specific customer to its peers. One other aspect of the system that is interesting is I might also provide feedback regarding recommendations that are made that may not be useful to me. So as a seller, I can provide feedback that maybe certain recommendations shouldn't be provided to me in the future. My ability to do this is helping to train our models to better target suggestions for products in the future. Okay, let's change gears and really look at the direct Sales Optimizer solution and give you a better sense for the behind the scenes, which would really be the experience of the pricing team in both managing and creating these models, and then understanding the recommendations that are being delivered into the commercial process. So we'll start here with an evaluation of a model which is published and active. Here, I'm firstly going to select some customer from my portfolio. I can basically search from my list of customers, or I can basically indicate a single customer from a drop-down menu if I'd like. But in this example, I have a list of product recommendations that is available to me. You can see this list can be sorted on the basis of relevance or on the basis of dollar opportunity. I can also evaluate the specifics of the purchase history for this specific customer, as well as detail regarding the peer customers on which these suggestions, these product suggestions, are being made. I can also manage the same kind of feedback system that you saw in the commercial process with respect to removing certain recommendations from the list if that's my desire. This solution also provides just a general capability for folks on the pricing team to get a better sense for some of the metrics behind the modeling that is taking place with respect to these specific suggestions. And then if I kind of back out of an active model and really kind of look at the workbench within the system, I can also see that I'm able to evaluate, really different models, across, different attributes I might be considering in this solution. So here you can see in a draft model I have set up that as a user of this system, there's no requirement for me to be a data science expert. It's really tailored to business users for use, but I can do simple things in the setup of a model, such as define what what a customer means to me as far as the modeling process is concerned. Is this should I be providing suggestions at a ship to level or at a global customer level? What does a product mean in my solution? Is it a specific SKU? Is it a family level suggestion that I should be delivering? And also, what do I consider revenue? Invoice revenue, net revenue, etc. If I am looking to filter data out of the solution, I'm also able to do things like that, as well as control various model and algorithm settings when it comes to the determination of these customer groups and the recommendations that are being made. Okay, so what did I just show? We, of course, firstly started in the commercial process. We provided just a brief overview of the fact that we can evaluate multiple different models within this solution. I walked you through the recommendation console, where we saw specific to customer specific recommendations that are being made as an output of this solution. And we also talked about some of the context that is also shared in this solution with regards to purchase history and customer similarity and the model itself. As well, I did illustrate the fact that this is not a solution that requires a technical setup to a great degree. It's a very straightforward solution regarding the inputs that are all essentially determined through the user interface. Okay, so that was really the snapshot of the solution that I did want to provide today.